My name's Carlos Brown. I have my Carlos Brown Golf Academy at Keaton Park Golf Course in Dallas. Golf is like life to where you have to adapt. You can prepare as much as you want for anything, but learning to adapt and learning to change and learning to trust foundational principles that you've learned, right? Whether in golf or life, that's kind of why I like it so much, right? Even as an amputee, learning to adapt to different lies and different scenarios, and you just can't do it the same as if everything was perfect level ground. A lot of things aren't always what they seem. We live in a society where social media and everything, where things just aren't what they seem. You can see look at somebody and assume that this happened or that happened to them, but then when you truly figure out what really happened, it kind of changes, right? And that's kind of like how my story went. You see it as hey, I had a really bad sprain, on a golf course, and it got infected because I kept teaching and working on it, and then with that infection I almost died, so the doctors had to amputate it. That's the surface level, what people see, right? The real story was, for years I dealt with depression. And so I think no matter what people go through, whether it's, if they say, oh, they have this kind of disorder, they deal with this kind of sickness, there's always a root, and sometimes, and when they're like, they can't just shake this addiction or whatever, it's a root. And sometimes a root is depression, and other things are driven, by that, right? And you push yourself, and for me, I was a workaholic. That was my drug, and my identity wasn't in God, it was in what I did for a living. And that's why I always tell people that this amputation saved my life. It literally slowed me down and forced me to deal with the issues, forced me to get counseling, forced me to, for God to heal me. Even when you're going through something like depression, it's something that you don't go, oh yeah, I'm depressed, I'm gonna go get counseling, it's done. No, it's a continuous thing, it's layers, right? So you're shedding layers, you're getting healed one layer at a time, right? And you're going deeper and deeper, finding the root issue and where did this stuff come from? That's how I survived, was, healing internal stuff. The external stuff will heal, but it's the internal stuff that we have to really focus on. And there's way more people in this society that's broken internally than externally. The cool thing about switching over to UST, especially going from somebody who wasn't an amputee to an amputee and an adaptive player, having equipment, it's important. So with clubs, and then with the shafts, and going from this heavy sledgehammer shaft I used to swing, and I'm like, how do I swing this thing? And in the recoil shaft now. So the recoil shaft for my irons they're just golden, and they literally are kind of goldish, but they're golden, and so it's awesome. I love how it feels, and my dispersion is tighter, and that's something I notice across the board with UST shafts, right? It's great shafts, high performance, but your shots are tighter, and more controlled. And when it says something is mid to low spin, it's literally that. But even with my players love it. They love how again, how it feels, how consistent it is, and even how it works in combination with the equipment companies that they're using, whether it's Callaway or whoever, right? So it's just really good. I love it. So.